welcome ladies and gentlemen, my name is Juggernaut, and today I'm here to talk to you about Enlisted. Enlisted is a brand new World War II squad-based free-to-play shooter, and it has a take on, well, World War II FPS games that's really unique, and that's difficult to achieve given the sheer volume of World War II shooters out there. So, I want to talk to you first about how the game generally plays, the economics behind it, how you unlock stuff and progress, because in my modest opinion that's the most important thing when it comes to a free-to-play game. What's the business model, how does it work, and is it pay to win, and so on and so forth. So, to that end, we're going to take a look at that first, and then we're going to get into the actual gameplay. There will be a link probably in the video time bar thingamajig to skip to gameplay right away, and I'll put it in the comments down below as well, in the first pinned comment. So, with that said, let's talk about what the game plays like in general and the economics behind it. So, unlike any other World War II game that I know of out there, this game focuses around squads. In that, you are no longer, in this game, you are not one specific person, though you do control only one soldier at a time. You control a whole squad as well. The simplest way to explain this is you play as one guy with a bunch of AI followers going with you. That's the gist of the gameplay. Now, you get to customize and unlock new squads, new weapons. Each of your squad members has like different upgrades, different skills, so on and so forth. But the sort of bare bones of the gameplay is there is a certain amount of players on both sides and AI. There's AI followers for every player. There are aircraft, there are tanks. Well, currently I don't have a tank. I do have this Sonderkraftfahrzeug 234/2, also known as a Puma, I think. Is this the Puma? This should be the Puma. Anyways, so that's what I have in terms of the German vehicles. I've been playing only as Germany so far, though I will play a little bit as the US of A for this video, but this is how you unlock things, right? So, I have a little bit of a problem with the way the unlock system works, and it's not a bad system per se, but it's more of a sort of personal preference kind of thing. You unlock stuff with orders. Now, orders are kind of these cards, right? And everything you unlock costs a card. There are different qualities of cards, and so on and so forth. How do you get cards? Well, you do these challenges, as you can see. Achievements and the likes. So we have that, we have quick draw and kill an enemy with a pistol. I don't remember doing this, but okay. And then you also have daily battle tasks, which is like this, for example, kill 8 enemies, and then you get a card for that as well. And you can buy them. Yeah, so you can pay to unlock things. Not ideal. Okay, I mean, you know, if you want to skip grinding, that's okay, but let's head over to the logistics. Weapons delivery, random troop reinforcements. This is a little bit confusing for people at first, so I'll try and take you through it as quickly and effectively as I can. There are different things that you can buy in the logistics. The logistics things is more like a shop than anything else. It is just basically a shop, right? Here you can buy soldiers. They come, for example, this is a tier 5 soldier, so he has different skills, abilities, and so on and so forth. He's a little bit better than you know, a tier 4 soldier, and so on and so forth. Though the quality of soldier personally doesn't matter all that much in my modest opinion. Weapons and stuff matters a hell of a lot more, but, you know, we'll get to that later. Once you buy a soldier, for example, if we were to buy Heinz Coleman here, I don't have the necessary golden orders to get him, but if we were to buy him, we would also need to buy his equipment. That's where we go to equipment delivery, and we can get like a backpack, tools, a medkit, grenade pouch, you know, any of these really, and then we can equip it to the soldier. So if we buy one smoke grenade or one Salutator M24, we could give it to the one soldier that we've bought. And then we're also going to need to buy him a weapon. So we go over here and we get, when we say, you know what, we want a regular rifle for him. Let's get a Mauser 36, right? Good. We buy one MAS 36 and we give it to him. And then the soldier is basically ready, after we pick a few upgrades for him, to head on over into one of our squads. Now, in which squad you put him is determined by a couple of things. There's like different types of squads. So this is a Fusilier battalion, which means it has 2 snipers and 5 troopers. Currently I have 2 snipers and 2 troopers in it. It also has a maximum squad size... a maximum squad size of 5, so these are like the limits you can have, and this is the maximum size of the squad. So if he is a rifleman, we can put him here, for example. We could also put him here. It's another option. We can't put him in the Puma, obviously, he's a trooper. We could put him in the Grenadier Regiment as well, if we were to take one of these guys out. And then each and every one of the members of the squad has to go basically through the same thing. So, equipment, leveling, so on and so forth. And that's the gist of the game. You also have this, which is the sort of upgrade tree for skills and stuff, which is fairly limited, if we're honest. And then there is the same thing, but for the allies, which is ever so slightly different. Now, there is also something called an academy, and this soldier must reach a maximum level before you start training them. So in the academy, I think this is where they can specialize to be different things or something along those lines. I've unlocked this recently, so yeah, the academy, we're going to leave that aside right now. That's not, you know, this is a sort of strictly need-to-know basis video. The academy's a little bit more advanced. You get into that sort of later as you play. But for now, let's grab a few upgrades for our squads and see. We'll see what we can do about it. So each squad has its own upgrade tree and its own upgrade thingamajig. Currently, my favourite has been the sniping one, because people don't really know how to deal with snipers in general. So they don't have any more squad points available, right? That was just the one. Allows us to modify this weapon using spare parts in order to enhance its battle characteristics. The Kar 98 with a scope. Excellent, and we can't do this unless we buy the thing. Okay. What about the assault squad? Unlocks backpack slot for troopers. That's not bad. Unlocks a new maximum soldier level for this class. Interesting, but we haven't gotten there yet. Let's go with more troops in the squad. I think that's what we're gonna go with. And then over here for the Puma, I want to go with the rank 2 tanker, and I want to go with this. Okay, cool. Now you can also upgrade your. Let's go here. You can also upgrade your gear, upgrade your soldiers, sort of tweak with all those things, but we're going to get into that right now. So you see there's a star here next to it. That is basically the level of upgrade on it, so that can be changed and modified. You do also have basic weaponry that you don't need to pay for when you unlock a squad. So for me, that is the Kar 98K with this particular squad, the Panzer Grenadiers. So yeah, there's this unique weaponry you can buy, but there is also the basic bare-bones stuff that you start with, essentially to prevent you from, you know, being put in a position where you no longer have any weapons in your squad. That would be quite silly. Now, perks for soldiers individually work a little bit different. They have a maximum number of points they can put into any given category, and then when you choose a perk, it takes up like running speed is quite good. I'll take that. It takes up points in that category. So if we take a mobility perk, the next perk we're going to have to take is probably going to have to be like survivability or something else. Good. And then that's about it as far as the sort of basic tenets of progression and the economy work. So you basically currently have to buy, or not have to, but the only thing you have that you can buy is progression. You can also buy to change the set of upgrades available, which, you know, I sort of wish there was an alternative to just paying money for it, but it is what it is. I'm a little bit worried that the game will continue as it, you know, goes along in development, that it will continue pushing this sort of monetary aspect of microtransactions and basically forcing you to buy things. Currently, I don't think there's anything that you can not unlock just by playing the game. I think everything's unlockable, it just takes a bit of time. But I'm worried that, you know, some guns might become exclusive, some soldiers might become exclusive, and, you know, it's a worrying prospect, and I think a lot of games go that way, but, you know, we're here to see, I suppose. I like this quite a bit, so we get that for him. And I'll upgrade these soldiers off camera. For now, I want to show you just one more thing, and that's the game modes. So, we have the tutorial, which I highly recommend that you do, practice, squads, and lone fights. So, lone fights is a game mode in which players are using only one soldier in their squad, so that you basically don't have the AI followers, and it plays like, yeah, pretty much any other pretty much any other World War II FPS game. Squads is the most popular one, and sort of the main hallmark of the game and what most people are playing, and it is quite fun, though. You do have a fair number of people playing lone fighters as well. So that's it for now. The game has 3 maps currently, with the 4th one in the works. And most importantly, it has a lot of players. It doesn't take too many players to fill up the map because of the AI followers, but also, given the fact that it's a free-to-play game, and given the fact that it's relatively new, it has a lot of players, which you might think is, you know, it's not really something worth considering all that much, but I've played Hell Let Loose at times when you couldn't find a full server, or you know, you couldn't find a relatively full server to join. Granted, most of the time it was late at night in Europe and stuff like that, but there were times I had to just not play Hell Let Loose, or I also tested the other one, what was it called? I forget. There was Hell Let Loose, and then there was another one in a sort of very similar style that released at the same time. I'll think of the name later, but I played that one as well, and there were times when you just couldn't get any players in a relatively packed server, so, you know, those were kind of problematic at times, but now it is different with this game because, you know, it's free to play, it's Gaijin, they do have a bit of a reputation for making quite solid games in the free to play genre. Specifically, War Thunder is a prime example, though, you know, it has its problems, let's say. It does have its problems, especially with the economy of the game, which is kind of why I'm worried about this one, but it is much beloved. It has a huge player base, so, you know, there is that. Now, that's it about as far as theory crafting is concerned. Let's switch over to the Ally campaign, and let's join in a battle. So, oh, by the way, the one thing I also don't really like about, just final thing, I really don't like about the way unlocks work with cards is it basically, well, there's no real reason for you to play as both factions. You sort of pick one. There's no reason for me to switch to the Allies. We don't share any of the we share all of the unlocks, in that a card works for the Allies and for the Germans, or for the Allies and for the Axis. Sorry, and to that end, it's like, well, why would I ever, you know, use something here and then use it over here? Because I'm never going to be able to play with the Axis and the Allies on the same team. So it's sort of like the optimal strategy is to just to focus on one campaign, finish it, and then switch to the other, which is a bit boring, but, you know, it is what it is. Anyways, against my better judgment, let's join a game. And it's fairly early in the morning, so we'll see how the queue time is. And I guess I'll see you in the game. And here we go, that took about 20 or 30 seconds or so. Let's spawn with our squad, and it's gonna take a little bit of time for us to do that. You don't spawn at the same time, from what I've noticed. This game is actually pretty fun. It is. Yes, it is, mate. Gotta admit, the game is pretty fun. I think I also didn't pick the zone at which I want to spawn. Or maybe I did, and this is just... whatever. Good. So, we have a sniper detachment, basically, with us. These are our two supporting characters, and I will be the one with the actual sniper rifle. Now, on this map, I've played maybe once. Yeah, I think I've played only once on this map, so there is a, you know, I'm a little bit worried that I won't do all that well, but I generally tend to do pretty well with sniper rifles because people, well, they like to really focus on the entire squad aspect of the game and just rush in with... I'm sorry, there's a Puma right there. I'm trying to...
Fortifying our position.
Okay. Well, we've made it inside. I think my guys might be a little bit wounded, but that's okay. And I've made it to my sniper's nest, so... I consider this mission successful, though that grenade was rather terrible. Let's just open up all the windows. And it is a little bit loud. Excuse me, I'm gonna sort that out on my end. Oh, I don't really expect war to be a particularly silent endeavor. It is what it is. Let's capture this. I think that's the boomer burning down below me, probably. And we have captured A. Lovely. Unfortunately, both of my squad members are dead. Yeah, running into the Puma wasn't necessarily the greatest thing ever. You can switch between squad members, by the way, which is quite nice, but... yeah, anyways... I don't think we're going to see much action here other than what was happening with this armoured car here, so let's move up towards C. There we go. Alright, now I would like to set up camp somewhere. Someone actually made an ammo box. That's very, very useful. One of the biggest problems I've ran into so far playing as a sniper, and I've played as the German snipers quite a bit, ammo. Ammo is desperately lacking unless you have someone to play with that can build ammo boxes for you. You need an engineer squad to build ammo boxes, and you can't have an engineer in a sniper squad, unfortunately, so... yeah, what would usually happen, I would fire off like 20 or so rounds, hit some, miss some, as you usually do, and then I'm just like, I'd be pretty much just stuck. Whoa! Okay. Easy there, we're on... oh, damn it. Damn it, damn it, damn it. So, what happens when your squad dies? It is not ready for battle. There is no timer that I can see for how long this is the case, but yeah, basically you pick where you want to spawn, like so. Pick the squad you want, or the other squad you want that's available, and you just go. And that's the gist of the game, basically. There are commands you can... I feel like there should be some kind of limit to that, because he just bombed both of the areas at the same time, and that feels a little bit, I don't know, subpar, let's say. But be that as it may, let's well, let's push up on the Germans, shall we? And my thinking is, if we start pushing towards them, they'll be able to bomb us out in the open. Though I do fancy taking over this house quite a bit. As you've probably noticed, you can also mount weapons onto, like, just hit B and you can, like, sort of lean them up against wherever you are. Most of the time it works fairly well. Sometimes it's a little bit glitchy, but I really like that feature, not gonna lie. Okay, this... I was gonna say this calls for a frag grenade. I don't have one. Okay, my squad's dead. They sort of ran out, which... probably not the wisest thing they could have done, but, you know, it is what it is. The AI is doing the opposing AI is doing pretty much the same thing, so can't expect too much on that front. How are we doing? As dreadfully as I'd expect, but, you know, I haven't played this map before just once. I don't rightly know what I'm doing, and I'm just level 1. So that does tend to influence things a little bit. From what I've seen thus far, the level difference between players in a match can be quite severe. That said, I haven't seen Tigers and Panthers yet in a game against like a level 2 to 3 me or so. But I have seen like flamethrowers and stuff like that, and that's, you know... I mean, you know, one option is the person in question bought these, and, you know, that's sort of the reason they have them early on. But either way, like, the difference in power and just the amount of unlocks can be quite significant. That was a horrible miss. That was even worse. Just a smoke grenade. Nah, damn it. Okay. Okay, now we're getting some proper shooting done. I really like the fact that it tells you whether the person is playing on controller or on PC. Not for a matter of some childish competition, like, oh, I'm gonna kill the console players. No, it's just like... I didn't know the game had crossplay, to be brutally honest with you, until... I've killed someone with a controller. And I was like, ha, that's very interesting. Also, the way the game keeps track of kills is quite neat. It tells you, well, it tells you the total amount of kills and score and all those things that you've done during the game up until that point, but it also tells you, like, how many kills each member of your squad has, how they're doing health-wise, what class they are, whether they're alive or dead, so on and so forth. Like, that's very neat. So far, we've killed 10 people. Wish I had a pistol to finish off the wounded like that, but... And that's me done. Yeah. I'm now going to have to take a knife to a gunfight. Bit of a problem that. I can see an ammo crate off in the distance. I suppose I can also pick up weapons off of dead enemies. Damn it. Damn it. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, ammo is ever so slightly a problem. What is this? This is the Airborne. You know what? We haven't played as the Airborne yet. Let's do it. Screaming Eagles, eh? We don't actually get airdropped in, do we? No, we just sort of ungraciously run to our objectives. Oh well. We are absolutely dominating the enemy team, though, so I consider a large chunk of that as personal credit, and I'll just call it there, I guess. You can also send your troops off and tell them, like, okay, go hold that position, which is probably the best thing you can do with them. The AI's pretty decent when it comes to, like, doing objectives like that, like, go there, hold that, defend that. What they don't do so well is, what would I even call this, like, understanding the player's ideas behind what you want to do in a given situation. And what I mean by that is, for example, if I climb the second story of a building, I just want to peek out the windows and sort of fight like that, you know? And the AI gets a little bit zealous sometimes, and they're like, okay, charge the enemy, got it. But most of the time, again, the AI does surprisingly well, I would say. Why is this Puma just here and not? Crap. Okay. Frag out over there. Okay, so long as nobody approaches me from the back, I'm pretty happy. My squad's gonna cover my back, actually. Oh, that's good. Putting them over there was genius. And they've also gotten a couple of kills to their name. Very, very nice. Okay, so yeah, they're gonna cover my back, and we've basically taken control of this alleyway. Yeah, that was a real player over there. Like, that wasn't AI, and I think he just murdered all my airborne. But that doesn't matter. We've won. Huzzah! And there we go. And I am in the top for something? Yeah, I'm a battle hero. Because of what exactly? The best sniper. Well, you know, there you go. That's exactly what I was going for and nothing else. Good. So, score-wise, I haven't done particularly great, but I'm assuming that's because well, never mind, actually. I haven't really done all that well in terms of kills. KD ratio's pretty darn good, though. I've done absolutely nothing in terms of capturing and zone defense kills and zone capture kills and vehicles destroyed, so that I think that influences score a little bit more heavily than just sniping and doing the and denying the enemy some territory and stuff like that. But anyways, regardless of that fact, that was the game. It's really, really interesting. It's a unique take on a shooter. The actual combat feels very... It's difficult to explain without, like, having it sound negative, but I mean this in the best way possible. The combat feels very light, very casual, very easy to get into. And that's a good thing, I think, for a shooter like this with a bunch of AI. It's not like a gritty, realistic Twitch shooter. It's not something like Tarkov or Armor or Hell Let Loose. The combat feels a little bit more cartoony in a way, but it has all the elements, right? Leaning, mounting weapons, a bullet trajectory, leading targets, bullet drop, all of that is there. But it's done it's done in such a way that the terrain is very sort of clear and visible. You don't need to really squint your eyes to see behind a bush. The sort of art style really does it justice in that sense, where, you know, you saw especially at the end of the battle there when I was sniping, you could clearly see German soldiers behind those bushes, and you know where to put your shots, right? So concealment isn't really that big of a thing, especially with the AI not really knowing how to hide themselves properly. So in that sense, it's really, really good. And the uniforms also, like, are a great touch, because these guys are going to have an easier time hiding than this lot. You know, the things like that. Really, really nice. And, yeah, it's just a really fun, easy shooter. It's nothing too, you know, complex, overbearing. It's really easy to get into, play a couple of games, and then get out, you know? It's that kind of thing, and, yeah, I really like it. What can I say? I really like it. I'm going to be playing a ton of this game, probably. As the Germans, though, because, yeah, it's the economy is such that doesn't really like you jumping from one campaign to the other. But I guess one of the sort of really good things about it is you also don't really need to unlock everything to have a lot of fun. In that sense, the balance of power and the stuff that you unlock isn't all that influential, right? I mean, a Kar 98K is going to headshot people and one-tap them if you hit them in the head one way or another, and you start the game with that weapon. An MIS 36 is like, okay, a little bit better, I guess. And then what else can I unlock for this? Like a Gewehr 43 is, I mean, it's a semi-auto, so yeah, has a larger ammo capacity, but I guess the per shot damage is going to be less, right? And then, alright, we have like an FG42 and stuff like that, so yeah, it's, okay, that's not gonna lie, that's a little bit of a significant upgrade, but, you know, other than that, these are, like, usually quality of life kind of improvements, like a pistol and stuff like that. There are a few that you really want to and need to get. Some of the consumables, some of the throwables, if you will, like medkits and stuff like that, mines, really, you really do need them to deal with, like, tanks and holding positions and stuff like that. It's, yeah, you really need that, but other than that, I mean, like, stuff like this is pretty darn easy to get into, and even if you were to chalk out a lot of money and unlock everything, you wouldn't necessarily have that big of an advantage, because the things you're unlocking don't make you strictly more powerful. They give you more variety and stuff, but it's not just a straight upshot in terms of power. So, yeah, it's definitely an interesting game. Fully recommend that you check it out. It's free to play. Play a couple of games and you'll know whether you like it or not. I guess that's one of the sort of really great things about a sort of fairly simple game like this. You know, you do have a lot of mechanics, a lot of elements, but when you actually sit down and play it, you know pretty much immediately whether you're into something like this or not. So simple in that sense, simple in the sense that you either like it or you don't, and you can be the judge for yourselves and determine fairly quickly. So yeah. Anyways, that's it for this video. Bit of a lengthy one, a lot of explanations, not that much in the way of gameplay, but I wanted to make it as informative as possible. Anyways, thank you very much for watching, ladies and gentlemen. Like, subscribe down below if you enjoyed the video and want to stay tuned with the rest of the content that I produce on the channel. Until next time, have fun, take care, and bye-bye.